Hello everyone, young Barry Allen, who is destined to become the superhero Flash, the fastest man on the planet, dearly loves his mother Nora. Unfortunately, the woman is killed during a robbery, while Barry isn't at home. In the present day, Barry still misses his mom deeply, mourning her at her grave and blaming himself for her death. Barry's wife Iris comforts him and says there was nothing he could have done to help Nora, since he was just a child at the time. Suddenly, Barry receives a message that several supervillains have broken into the Flash Museum. He puts on his cool suit and, thanks to his super speed, rushes to the scene of the crime. Flash successfully fights off 5 enemies until his arch-nemesis, Professor Zoom, arrives and captures him with liquid superglue. It turns out that the villain has strapped powerful bombs to each of his henchmen's belts and plans to blow them up along with Flash, the museum, and hundreds of nearby buildings. Fortunately, members of the Justice League arrive just in time, disarming the bombs and even saving the villains from being blown apart. All the criminals are arrested and sent to prison. Before leaving, Zoom viciously declares that he will return and mocks Flash for being a useless hero who couldn't even save his own mother. These words strike Flash deeply and he rushes home at incredible speed. The next day, his boss James wakes Barry at his desk, saying that supervillains are wreaking havoc in the city, even though Flash had just locked them up in prison yesterday. Confused, Barry runs outside and is horrified to discover that he has somehow lost all of his superpowers. To his shock, he also encounters his elderly mother. Overjoyed to see Nora alive, Barry reveals to her the truth about his superhero alter ego. However, Nora doesn't understand him, since the only hero she knows is Batman. Meanwhile, a grim-looking Batman captures Harley Quinn and demands she reveal the Joker's whereabouts. When she refuses, the hero throws her off a rooftop, only for Cyborg to arrive just in time to save her. Cyborg approaches Batman, asking for his help to stop a devastating war that threatens to destroy the planet. Batman refuses, scornfully calling Cyborg a government puppet, and disappears into the shadows. Barry rushes to Iris's office to learn what is going on, but he receives an even more shocking revelation. Iris is married to another man, and they have children together. Flash suddenly realizes this must be some kind of strange, alternate reality. In this world, Aquaman and his underwater army have destroyed half of Europe, while Wonder Woman Diana and her Amazons have conquered England. The Atlanteans and Amazons are waging a brutal war after Diana coldly killed Mira, Aquaman's wife. Cyborg tries to gather a team of heroes to stop the senseless bloodshed and save the planet from destruction. Barry seeks out his friend Bruce Wayne, but when he arrives at the hero's hideout, Batman unexpectedly attacks him. It turns out that in this reality, Bruce Wayne was killed, and the man behind the cowl is his father, Thomas Wayne. At the same time in London, Steve Trevor searches for journalist Lois Lane, but is captured by Amazons. Wonder Woman wastes no time and brutally kills him. Barry tries to explain to Thomas that he comes from another, more peaceful reality, but the furious Batman doesn't believe him and starts breaking his fingers. Barry then tries to summon his Flash suit from his ring, but instead, Professor Zoom's suit appears. Barry realizes that Zoom is behind all this. He explains to the grim Batman that the supervillain has used the Speed Force to break the laws of physics, learn to travel through time, and drastically altered reality. Meanwhile, Deathstroke and Lex Luthor discover the location of Aquaman's powerful superweapon and try to destroy it. But Aquaman's army intercepts their ship and kills everyone on board. In Gotham, Barry tells Thomas that in the original reality, his son Bruce is alive, and convinces Batman to help him regain his powers through a dangerous experiment. As planned, lightning strikes Barry's body, but instead of super speed, he ends up with severe third-degree burns. Later, Cyborg learns from the president that instead of targeting Aquaman and Wonder Woman directly, the government wants Hal Jordan to pilot an alien spacecraft to destroy their superweapon. In a flashback, Mara catches Aquaman in bed with Diana. Fueled by rage, Mara confronts Diana the next morning. Their argument escalates into a deadly battle, in which Diana coldly kills Mara. This tragic event sparks the war between the Atlanteans and Amazons. Meanwhile, in another flashback, A mugger kills young Bruce Wayne instead of Thomas, which slowly drives his father insane. In the present, the badly burned Barry regains consciousness, plagued by strange new memories of this reality, while his old memories begin to fade. Despite his pain, Barry begs Thomas to repeat the experiment. Aquaman, meanwhile, prepares to annihilate Wonder Woman and the Amazons, even if it means dooming all humans on land. The second experiment succeeds, and Flash regains his powers. However, he cannot time travel, as someone in this reality is siphoning energy from the Speed Force. Barry sadly realizes he cannot go back to fix the past. Elsewhere, Amazons hunt down Lois Lane, but Resistance fighters save her in time. Flash, convinced that Zoom is to blame, knows a showdown is inevitable. He and Batman set out to recruit more allies. To Barry's shock, Thomas reveals that in this world, the government has kept Superman locked away since his meteor crashed in Metropolis. Flash, Batman, and Cyborg infiltrate a secret government bunker and find a weakened Superman. Once exposed to the sun, Superman regains his powers, quickly killing all the surrounding soldiers with his heat vision before fleeing in fear of his own strength. Barry suffers intense headaches as his memories from both realities begin to overlap. The team takes him to Billy Batson's home to recover. Meanwhile, Hal Jordan fails to destroy Aquaman's deep-sea weapon as the all-out war between Atlanteans and Amazons begins. Flash convinces Batman to join the team. En route to London, they receive a video message from Lois Lane, who managed to film the mysterious speedster, revealed, of course, to be Zoom. Suddenly, Aquaman's army shoots down their plane, forcing the heroes into battle alongside Lois and the Resistance. Aquaman and Diana face each other in a brutal duel, while Flash and Cyborg try to intervene, joined by the timely arrival of Shazam. Batman kills Black Manta, but is gravely wounded. Diana ultimately defeats Shazam, while her Amazons kill Grifter. Zoom finally appears, now a paradox due to the altered reality, and attacks Flash. The two clash fiercely, but Zoom gains the upper hand. Flash accuses him of dooming the world, but Zoom sneers, revealing the truth. It was Barry himself who caused everything. Flash had traveled back in time to save his mother from dying. By disrupting the timeline, he created a temporal explosion that altered history, leading to catastrophic consequences. Zoom laughs, claiming victory, and continues beating Flash. Superman suddenly returns, cutting off Aquaman's arm, but fails to save the dying Cyborg. Diana seizes the moment and finishes off the bleeding Aquaman. With his last breath, Aquaman orders the detonation of a doomsday bomb connected to Captain Atom, causing irreversible destruction to the planet. As chaos unfolds, Zoom celebrates, but Batman shoots him dead. Mortally wounded, Thomas entrusts Barry with a letter for Bruce before dying. Summoning his last strength, Barry enters the Speed Force and stops his earlier self from saving Nora, preventing the timeline collapse. Barry wakes up at his desk, relieved that everything is back to normal. Yet he notices slight changes in reality, including minor differences in the heroes' costumes. Flash rushes to Batman, recounts everything that happened, and delivers the letter from Thomas. As Bruce reads it, he breaks down in tears.